Sagittarius, welcome to Pure Tarot. So I'm doing a reading for the new moon in Taurus today, April 30th. I'm cheating a little bit. I think it's past midnight. We're like technically May 1st, but obviously we're still within the energy. There's a partial eclipse. That could make it a lot more strong, so and maybe more long lasting in terms of its effect. But anyway, that's just the I guess the context. I'm gonna use a deck called the Dark Days Tarot. It is called that way in honor of the new moon, the dark moon. So let's just get one card. I'm pulling. And I need my glasses. So I drew the Emperor sideways. And because the writing is on the left-hand side for me, I'm going to read it in reverse. Let me look at the card. I'm always inspired by the images and I'm not familiar with this imagery. I want to see if it helps me bring you a message. That's beautiful. It has this sort of mountain or cloak, or I don't know if it's the Emperor's, it looks more like a mountain. It has a layer of flowers, a layer of pentacles, a layer of cups, and a layer of swords. But it's interesting that the last layer would be flowers. I guess it's the wands. So there's a rainbow as well. So I'm tempted to tell you it comes through as you're dreaming of rainbows and flowers. And I say dreaming because the card is in reverse. So it's almost like it's not there necessarily in actuality, but it's there potentially, right? The Emperor in reverse can talk about a lack of stability and a lack of feeling in control of your life or even of oneself. But tonight it's coming through as relinquishing control. So I actually like that because I find that it's a much more, I guess it's the rainbow and the flowers making me say that. There's a beautiful letting go that is, first of all, it's a choice. And so it's extremely liberating. And it's, yeah, liberating. So it's, you know, the Emperor could be very heavy, right? He's so, he's such a huge presence. And this energy now is much more light. I really enjoy that. It's the first time I get the Emperor in reverse so positive. Let's draw some Rider-Waite Tarot just to get a obviously a lot more clarity on this. First card out, Six of Swords. So you could be traveling, Sagittarius. You love traveling. You love adventure, you love freedom, and you actually love being carefree. So this particular vibe I was picking up on about, you know, not being in control and enjoying that. Beautiful energy, truly. Let's see, what else? This one. The Two of Cups. Wow, it's like you're traveling towards love. You're traveling to meet someone. You're traveling, maybe just, it's interesting. The Two of Cups can talk about your connection, right? You're basically you connecting fully, being fully integrated. So I was describing this letting go, right? Letting go of control. And so maybe that's the key to feeling this way, feeling very aligned, feeling very good. You know, flowers and rainbows, it makes me think of the Ten of Cups, right? So actually, the Four of Wands and the Ten of Cups. So the rainbow would be on the Ten of Cups, but the flowers are on the Four of Wands. So it's almost like that's the dream I was describing, right? There's something, it's the potentiality of it. And so I'm bringing this back because of the Two of Cups. I'm sort of seeing a link there. Because you're really, you know, the Two of Cups is a relationship, right? So maybe within that relationship, you're achieving flowers and rainbows. So by projection, Four of Wands and Ten of Cups. At least in potentiality, right? But you're definitely going to meet, if you're going to meet someone, you're traveling towards someone with whom you have a connection with. Death in reverse. So could talk about something that you are very attached to. So you're not letting go as much as you're letting go internally here in terms of your attitudes. And you're letting go of control, right? But here you're attached. Maybe it's to this connection. Trying to see if I get other words than attached. I mean, it's gonna sound very obvious, but it's not even a typical interpretation of the Death card in reverse. But if Death upright is death, Death reversed could be life, you know, by just by being its contrary, right? It's opposite. So maybe you're walking into a connection and it makes you feel alive. I'm going to draw maybe a couple more, but not... Lovers in reverse. Interesting. And I have two more cards. Perfect. Five of Wands and Two of Swords. So the story shifts here. There's a disconnect in love. So unfortunately, it looks like you might disconnect from the person you're traveling towards, and there might be some arguments or disagreements, a struggle, a strife that leaves you very undecisive. And it's really interesting because it's right under death in reverse, and death in reverse is also a card of, you know, immobility, if you want. And this is a status quo. Interesting. I'm just going to pull one more card. I'm curious about the Lovers in reverse. It's almost like the disconnect comes from stagnancy, from death in reverse. Almost like being unable to rekindle something. It is death, even if it's in reverse, right? So let me draw one more card. I'm curious. I guess I'm trying to see if we can understand why. Same message. Ace of Wands in reverse. Things are not starting. Things are stagnant. Things are either stagnant or it's another card of, let me show you. You know, connect, disconnect. So some kind of back and forth, some kind of it starts, it ends. What a shift. I'm looking at the Emperor in reverse again. I'm sensing stubbornness. Why would stubbornness be the culprit? It could obviously be read as a lack of attraction, right? A lack of physical attraction. It's too bad because the attraction is there at the onset. I'm going to draw a card on the Lovers. Two cards came out. Ten of Cups in reverse and Page of Pentacles. So someone's offer of happiness is too small. I never like to use that. It's one way of looking at it. But I said it, so... You know, I never sensed the Page's offers, especially the Page of Pentacles, because he's really the one who's presenting something. Mind you, the Page of Cups as well. As small. I think it's it has to do with for me at least, like more of the first steps, right? So like it's the beginning of something. So like anything, let's say you take a plant, right? The plant just doesn't go from a seed to a full-grown plant. It goes through stages of, you know, a little sprout, and then it becomes a little bigger and everything until it matures, right? And for me, the Pages, that's why for me, I don't like to use that it's a small offer. I much more, I prefer to see it at something that is at the beginning stages. And it takes time, nourishment, investment to actually grow. And the more you care for it, the more it grows and the more strong and beautiful it grows into. Maybe there's a lack of patience here. You know, these people on the Five of Wands, they're not very patient. You know, they're quick to react. One little thing and they take offense, right? Or one little thing and it's... So, on this offer of happiness, right? Obviously, it's in reverse. So, I mean, I can't even begin to understand how someone could present an offer that would be unhappiness, right? If the card is in reverse, like how could you present something that is not happy? So it's a nonsense. I'm having a hard time with this contradiction. I'm trying to figure out what it is that this page is actually offering, because I'm going to put it this way. I think the page is hiding all that he has to offer. So that's why it might be perceived as very small, like he doesn't want to show everything that he's got in his heart or everything that he's actually wishing for, and the magnitude of what it is that he actually carries with him, and even carries in terms of the potential growth, like I said, how that plant is going to grow, you know, from the sprout into something, a beautiful mature plant that will bear fruit when you really think about it. So it's almost like downplaying your own offer, right? So it could be because you're sensing the stagnation. It's interesting. I've been saying you, Sagittarius, because I'm wondering. I've been picking up that this is you traveling towards someone. It could be vice versa, in terms of you, someone is coming towards you. So either way, this offer, this, I guess, downplaying the beauty of the offer and the magnitude of the offer, I think it comes from this stagnation and this start-stop and this false start. Those are the words I'm getting. Maybe this has happened. It might not be projecting in the future. In terms of this particular energy, maybe the first, I've been placing them as, these 4 cards for me are like one row, and then Lovers, 5 of Wands, and 2 of Swords are placed underneath. And I've put the 10 of Cups and the Page of Pentacles on the side because they clarify the Lovers in reverse. So maybe there was a false start in the past. And so I guess where you're situated now is this kind of energy, right? You're in a place where you feel disconnected from this particular person you have a connection or had a connection with. It doesn't mean the bond is totally broken. It could simply mean that you're not seeing eye to eye. Obviously, you're not on good terms per se. It's really interesting. I want to show you something in terms of numbers, kind of. See, the Lovers is 2 people, so that's like a one-on-one relationship. Here, there's five opponents, right? So that points to a group. And here, there's someone standing alone, so someone in solitude. So it talks to different stages or different relationships, maybe when if you look at your own life and you want to try to piece this, right? Maybe we're addressing you in a connection with someone else and describing this sort of, you're not feeling the love of this person so much because they're downplaying their offer towards you. If we're talking about a group setting, you might be feeling like things are very tense, right? There's a lot of friction and could be arguments, but definitely a lack of, obviously, cooperation, but mostly like you're fighting. It doesn't have to be like full-on, full-blown fighting, but lots of friction. And maybe this is all of this energy, right? Because when you think about it, you in one relationship or you within, let's say, the context, this could be work, this could be family, right? Community, whatever. It's putting you in a state of almost wanting to retreat, to absolutely, you don't want to see, you just don't want to see anything. You prefer not to look. It's a way of, you know, she's protecting herself like this with the swords. You know, protecting and it also being defensive, right? But there's this sense of standing still and being on a, I guess it's a status quo. I like that word for this card a lot. Very, it's difficult to decipher because I really think, I think the best way to put it is these different types of relationships in general. It just opens up to more, how can I put it? I'm not sure how to say this. It's almost like, I mean, initially we are talking about a love relationship, right? That's obviously the more, the stronger of the two, right? More of a relationship than you within a group setting. So that's much more what is addressed here strongly. Okay. This status quo card at the end like this is making me tell you that it sort of leaves the reading suspended. It doesn't, I mean, I could keep pulling, but I feel like it's almost like a rest period. It's not the Four of Swords, I get it, but I think it's the energy that you're in now, or soon will be. Okay, before I move on to the Oracle, I will pull one more card. A little bit like, I don't want it to be an outcome because I don't want it to be something like a definite outcome. You're gonna laugh. Four of Swords. Okay, I mean, I called it because I said it's almost like a Four of Swords, and here it is. So this is what you're being guided or basically shown that you will do, or that is currently happening. You need to rest, you need to heal. I sometimes see this as meditation. I did mention the word retreat and exile here on this card, so it's the same idea. Definitely, it's emphasized. There's a need to be in solitude. Doesn't have to be making you feel lonely. I don't think it necessarily comes with it. I think it's not with connecting with your higher self, which was kind of alluded here at the beginning. You know, I did mention relinquishing control and letting go, and the lightness, the sort of how it would make you feel lighter to do so when I addressed the Emperor in reverse. But it's the same idea here. It's interesting. This is another 4 in the Emperor's 4th major arcana. I'm just linking the numbers in terms of the message I had picked up about just I mean, I don't know if you can see or sense it yourself, right? There's no control here. Like, you're absolutely letting go. You're, especially here with the 4 of Swords. I mean, you're letting it, you're giving it to Source to take over, because you don't need to act. You don't need to put pressure. You don't need to. On the contrary, you need to go within. You need to align. That's what it says. Okay, let's draw an oracle. We need some form of advice for this healing. You know, because of the vice versa, like you applying it, whether it's your perspective or the person you're dealing with, right? You know, if it's not you traveling, if it's someone traveling towards you with whom you have a connection, but if it's a false start, or it, you know, stagnates or goes back and forth, or there's a lack of attraction, creating a disconnect. And I think part of the disconnect is the fact that the offer was or appeared small, right? And all of this eventually created conflict between the 2 of you, no matter which side. But the one thing for certain, all of the other cards could be reversed, right? But these 2 at the end, that's your energy. It's almost like this is where you end up. For now, you know, just temporarily. Okay, let's get that advice. I love this deck. I hope you will too. I will read out of the book. Bear with me. I'm hoping cards will come out, and 2 did. You have Crane and Star. Okay. Crane is right here, and Star. Nice. Okay, Crane is longevity. So Crane invites you to go the distance, and for this, he offers his blessings of longevity. It's interesting. It talked about, so to go the distance, you know, like you did travel a distance, or someone did. By making the decision to see something all the way through, which is not this energy, right? This is not what happened here, right? This didn't go all the way through. This failed to launch. You are choosing to fill hollow areas with your love and devotion. The initial energy, right? So maybe that's the lesson here, seeing something through, sticking with it, right? So so by making the decision to see something all the way through, you are choosing to fill hollow areas with your love and devotion. You are choosing completeness, sorry. Life responds to your commitment in kind by increasing your energy reserves, strengthening your nervous system, opening your heart center, and aligning you with the relationships and resources you require to fulfill your soul's sacred mission. It's interesting. Life responds to your commitment in kind by increasing your energy reserves, strengthening your nervous system, opening your heart center, and aligning with the relationships. This is exactly what I said about you're resting to align, and you give it up to source to handle. You're letting go of control, because it's not up to you anymore. It's interesting. So the balance keywords are follow through and the ability to commit, which I think was misinterpreted here, because the offer was downplayed. So, or kind of, it was just, that's the right word. So I think there was potential commitment there, right? It just did need to grow. It did need to be nourished and developed. To bring into balance, the advice is choose a small project. That's funny. And finish it. Okay, let's move on to star. I love this. Look, it says divine guidance. Look. Divine guidance. This is, double whammy here. It says the same thing. So, she appears when the path is obscured and you need a nudge in the right direction. When you ask for guidance, you're asking for guidance here. Same here, the blindfold here is interesting. I know it's a card of indecision, blah, blah, blah. But by being in this status quo, and again, I'm reading them in combination, right? These two. So there's really the idea that you're waiting for that. How can I put it? This is asking you, it says, you need a nudge in the right direction. I wanted to say something about the blindfold again. The refusal to see that I was describing, right, with the blindfold, I think it's also a form of shutting yourself from distractions, right, in order to receive the guidance. It's another way of going within. So when you ask for guidance, the universe will certainly answer. Listen, not look, listen. And look for the, and it says, and look for the clues. I'm contradicting myself. I said don't look just because of the blindfold, but let's go with the card. Listen and look for the clues that are offered. There is always a way through. Spend time under the stars at night and let them remind you that you are a beloved member of the cosmos, one who shines among many. Able to discern true guidance, reconnect with the sun's cycle. Wake at dawn and keep your day flowing organically without hesitation. That is a super cool message. To reconnect with the sun's cycle, wake at dawn, and keep your day flowing organically. You know, I did mention the pages offer as being this plant that grows, right? And I said it needed nourishment to grow, and you need water and sunlight, so and warmth. Interesting. Let's get a trinket and close this. You get the mermaid, and she's sitting in this circle, so you could almost say she's like in the moon energy. So, I mean, again, more, you know, look at her, the way she is. The fact that she's contained in the circle, it's almost like she's in this bubble. So more of the same message of that Four of Swords being extremely beneficial, and almost like it's really the, I don't know, I just want to say it's the perfect thing to perfect place to be. Not necessarily a location, but you know what I mean. Anyways, this will unfold beautifully because guidance will come, definitely. Definitely. And you know, I just described the mermaid as being almost in a moon energy. So maybe eventually to come out of it, heed the guidance here from the star card about following the sun's cycle and waking up at dawn, and you know, moving with that cycle instead. Okay. It wasn't an easy read for you, Sag. Not one, you know, too lovey and peppy, and a little more difficult, on the difficult side. Anyway, thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing. I appreciate that, but mostly I appreciate you being here. Thank you. Good night.